everyone, today I'm going to be doing the unpopular opinion book tag, and I'm actually kind of curious to see if I have unpopular opinions because I like a lot of things. This tag was created by, I'm just gonna check here. Look, by the way, at my awesome new phone cover. Ah, it's Belle being taken away by the doctor. But anyway, sorry about that. This was created by the Book Archer, and I'm gonna link her video down below if you want to see the original video. But let's get started. And my battery's flashing, so I hope I'm gonna make this. A popular book or series that you didn't like. Well, for this one, I had a little look around, and Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I love everything by Maggie Stiefvater, but this series I just couldn't get into. I think I read the first book and then I read like halfway through the second book and I never finished it. But I have to say, sometimes books just don't work for me at a certain time. So I'm probably gonna try and reread this series, and maybe I'll love it the second time, because I haven't read any other books by Maggie Stiefvater that I don't like. So yeah, but Shiver. Question number 2. A popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate but you love. Now, it is really popular to hate on Twilight, and I have to say I love Twilight jokes. And I like Twilight Passion because it's just really funny. But I actually did really love the book. As you can see, my copy was pretty well read. I think I read like 3 times ages ago, you know, when it first came out. Because, not to sound hipster or anything, but I read it before it was cool. I read it before I was kind of like discovered in the Netherlands. So I read it, I really loved it, no one else had read it, and then all my friends started reading it and suddenly it was this big thing, and I think that's when people started to hate it, especially because when something gets really popular, a lot of people are gonna hate it automatically. So yeah, I read it again and then again later, and I'm kind of really want to read it again to see how I think about it now, because I was pretty young when I read it the first few times. But yeah, it's not the best series ever, and yes, there are plot holes, and yes, there are things that you're like, you know, looking back on it, like, why? But I absolutely love the series nonetheless, and especially the first book, so yeah. A love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you did not want them to end up with. Usually I'm kind of rooting for both people, so I'm always sort of happy and sort of unhappy, because usually I like them both, and I feel sorry for the one that doesn't get her, unless, you know, they end up being an asshole or something. But this is the exception in Shadow and Bone. Now, this is going to be spoilers. So if you haven't read this series yet, and you should, because it's really good, mute the video now, and I'm gonna make weird hand gestures when you're gonna unmute the video. Okay? Okay. So in Shadow and Bone you have the Dark One, and you have, I even forgot his name, Mel. You have Mel, her best friend. And it's kind of a love triangle, and I know that the Dark One is evil and he's kind of a bastard, and I don't know, was he using her? But he kind of fell in love with her, and I thought that was really sweet, and I really liked him even though he was evil, because I usually fall for the bad character and the evil guys. I usually root for evil guys, which is kind of bad. And I thought it would be so awesome if she ended up with him. But in the end I was happy with her ending up with Mal, because, you know, she deserved a happy end, and he turned out to be quite the bastard after all, like more than you thought already. But yeah, for most part of the entire series I was rooting for her to get with the Dark One, because I thought it was awesome. And yeah. Okay, you can come back. Unmute the video, it's safe. On to the next question. A popular genre that you hardly reach for. Now, I like to read kind of widely. I read fantasy, science fiction, young adult, children's books, normal fiction, biographies, autobiographies. I read books about writing. I like to read classics and plays and poetry. So basically everything, but you might noticed that one thing is missing, and that's mystery slash horror. I just don't really have a thing with that, and I do want to read more mystery books and horror books. Like, I love the horror genre, but I just don't know where to start, and I don't like books that have... Oh, I forgot the hand gestures. I'm just gonna do them now and then do some movie magic, so you will have seen them. Okay, that was smooth. Where was I? Oh yeah, I don't like books that have like a lot of like sexual violence and stuff like that, and really explicit showing it, and I don't know. I don't like... I've read a few mystery books, but one of them I just stopped reading because there was a lot of kind of sexual violence, and I didn't like that at all. It's just not my thing. I don't want to read about that. I get there are books about it, and if you don't mind, fine, but personally I just don't like that. So now I'm kind of hesitant which books to start. So if you know a few that aren't too violent and stuff like that, not just sexual violence, but also like if it's really gory and stuff, I can handle it, but I don't prefer it. Same in the movies, like I can handle gory shit, but I prefer not to. I just prefer it to have a good story and like be really creepy instead of just gross. But anyway, horror and mystery. Question number 5. A popular or beloved character that you do not like. In the Hunger Games you have Peeta and Gail, and I do not like Gail at all. I'm not even quite sure if that was his name. What if I say it completely wrong? It's Gail, right? Oh, that's so bad. I'm gonna have to look it up now. Oh, that's so bad. I looked it up. His name is Gail. I was right. I feel so bad, especially because my thesis, like my end thesis thing, is about the Hunger Games. But anyway, I didn't like Gail. Like, I know a lot of people liked him, a lot of people don't like Peeta and wanted her to end up with Gail. But personally, I thought he was kind of an asshole. Like, okay, so in part 2, like if you haven't seen the Hunger Games, I haven't read it, spoiler alert, and I'm gonna wave my hands around again at the end. When Katniss came back from the Hunger Games, like this amazing traumatizing event, all her friends, like people she connected with, they were all dying, she thought she was gonna die and she had to kill people. Like, this is deeply traumatizing, and one of the things that I love about the Hunger Games series is that she actually shows her being deeply traumatized. Like, she isn't just like, oh okay, I'm a hero, I can handle it, I'm fine, it's like nothing happened. No, she's really upset and really affected by it, which I thought was really realistic. And Gail, the only thing that he cares about is like, oh, you're gonna date me or not? Oh, why did you kiss Peeta? And sorry, I don't like him. And the way that he, you know, went on and on about how they were together in the game. It's like, it was a survival strategy. Did you want her to die or something? As you can tell, I'm kind of passionate about this. And then of course in book 3 it turns out to be kind of crazy and slightly evil. Which I did not see coming, but yeah, don't like him at all. So I was really happy when she ended up with Peeta, because I love Peeta. He was so understanding, and he was like, it's okay, you know, it was all for the games. And even though he loved her, he was willing to wait and to let her deal with everything she went through. So yeah, let me know if you agree with me, by the way. Hand gestures if you haven't read or seen the Hunger Games, you can hear me now again. Yeah, whatever. You should really read or see the Hunger Games because it's awesome. Next question. Number 6. A popular author that you just can't seem to get into. I don't think I have this problem. I can't really think. I'm gonna look around now to see if I can find anything. I can't really think of anyone that I can't get into because I like most books. As you can probably, you know, that's actually kind of a problem. I like almost every book. That's why I have so many books. So yeah, I can't really think of anyone, because even like the series Shiver that I told you I couldn't get into, I do love the author and I love a lot of her other books. So none so far. a popular book trope that you're tired of seeing. The examples are lost princesses, corrupt ruler, love triangles, etc. I have to say there was this point where I got really sick of forced love triangles. Like if it's not forced, if it's natural and just, you know, it makes sense, I don't mind. But like suddenly it was like every book had a love triangle. And most of them were so forced. Like you could really tell like that the author was like, I'm gonna make this interesting, I'm gonna make her fall for two boys, and they're both interesting, but no, kind of tired of that. Also there are some books, and there was this trend a while back, that the main character was always really clumsy and really talking herself down, like, oh, I can't do that, oh, I can't do that, oh, I'm useless. And then, you know, at the same time she was probably saving the world or something like that. It's like, have a little more confidence. It's okay if you don't have confidence in the beginning of the book, because there are people who don't have confidence, that's fine, but be confident about a few things at least. And you know, it has to progress into more confidence the more things they achieve, and some books just didn't really do that. I can't really think of examples, but well, one of them would be probably Twilight, but yeah, that just no. Number 8, a popular series that you have no interest in reading. Funny fact, right now I can't think of any series. There are a few that, you know, I want to read someday, but not right now. But The Hunger Games was actually a series that I knew was popular, and a lot of people were into it, and I was like, nah, the covers didn't really speak to me. The name, The Hunger Games, I was like, what's that? You know, I didn't know anything about the book, but just based on the cover and the title, I was like, nah, no, not my kind of book, probably. And so I never picked it up until this fateful day that a bookshop near my school in England stopped, and you know, had discounts upon discounts upon discounts. It was so sad that the bookshop stopped, but it was amazing to buy all those books with amazing discount. And in the end, like the last day, they had like 150 books, maybe, if it was that many, and like every hour the price would go down. So between lessons and like in recess and like after school, me and my friends, we went there like 6 or 7 times that day just to buy more books. And at the very end, when we had to go home, The Hunger Games was there along with like 2 random books, like gardening books or something like that, but like not something that was really interesting, and part 3 of The Hunger Games. And I heard about it and I was like, well, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. It's only 25 cents or even 15 cents or something. It was ridiculous. So I bought it, and then I downloaded the first 2 books and I started reading it like on ebook, because I just wanted to check it out first. Not incredibly legally downloaded, by the way. And I fell in love and I loved it, and I bought the entire series. Like I bought them in actual paperback copies, and yeah, I absolutely love it now. But that was a series that I was not interested in reading at all for about half a year or something, when it was really popular, or at least starting to get really popular, starting to get momentum. It wasn't at the explosion popular stage yet, at least not in England. And yeah, but right now I can't think of any. Okay, question number 9. The saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation do you prefer more than the books? This might be one that a lot of people disagree with, but I love, absolutely love, the Lord of the Rings adaptations. By Peter Jackson. They're my favorite movies of all time, and I have read the books. Maybe it's because I watched the movies like 10-15 times before I ever read the books. That might have something to do with it, but just, you know, even if I try to look at it really objectively, some things that he changed, some were just like, oh, whatever, but some things were so much better the way he changed them, that I'm even sort of wondering if Tolkien might have agreed with it if he saw them. I was like, oh yeah, that's actually kind of a good adaptation, because he was always rewriting his work, like constantly rewriting everything. So I don't think he would have minded that someone rewrote sort of his work for an adaptation. And yeah, I love the Lord of the Rings movies better. I love the books as well, and I want to reread them again soon, because when I read the first book I was still pretty young and my English wasn't that good yet, so it was kind of, you know, tough to read. It wasn't something you just read like la la la, you know, for your pleasure. Like I read it for my pleasure, but you know what I mean. Like it was kind of a tough book for me back then, so I want to reread it again. But yeah, that's one where I think that the adaptation was definitely better than the book. Other than that, there's some where I think it's kind of equal, but mostly the books are way better. Almost always. Oh, another one, The Vampire Diaries. I haven't read the entire series, but yeah, the books, like the beginning at least of the books, like I think I read the first 2 or 3. The series is way better. It's way better. So that's another example of the adaptation being better than the book, according to me, of course. But yeah, that was the tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for rambling on so long so that it's now kind of a really long video. But I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to do this video, I tag you. I wasn't tagged by anyone. But I saw it and I was like, oh, I want to do it. So I'm tagging you. You watching this, if you want to start a channel or you have a channel, go ahead and do this tag. It's a lot of fun to think about these things, because I kind of sat down, like I looked up 3 books for the first 3 questions, but I hadn't even really looked at all the other questions yet, so yeah, it was fun to think about it. Anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe for more videos. If you haven't seen my giveaway video yet, I'm giving away a $10 gift certificate for Amazon, so you can treat yourself to a nice book or movie, whatever you feel like. I will leave it a link at the end of this video so you can enter that competition. Yeah, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!